That takes us on to number 8, the Planning Commission survey. As you know, we've all talked about this at our workshop. Are there any further questions? Go ahead, Janet.
I'd like to make a motion to approve contracting with Cobalt Community Research for the purpose of executing a citizen survey for Northfield Township at a cost of $16,832.
I'll support. Any further discussion? I'm sorry. Hold on, Wayne. I'm sorry. Chick motion. Engstrom supported. Sorry. Wayne.
Yeah, I think we could have done better on the bid. One of the bidders said they didn't have time to do it at this time, so I don't really consider that we got 3 bids on this. I don't even know if did we get 2?
Yeah,
or just one.
And I want to address one of the concerns that was brought up earlier. I did ask Mr. Luan how this process went, and he did indicate that they sent out letters to companies. It does say in my memo that it's an RFP, and so I apologize for sort of the semantics of that. And I'm not saying it's not relevant. It's just there's no intention on my part to mislead one way or another. My understanding is that Mr. Luan's office sent this out to multiple firms that he was aware of, and only one came back. I was not involved with this process at all, other than to look at the language that was sent out very briefly. I do not recall even ever making any changes to it, and I wasn't involved in the process to a great extent at all.
Why did Luan do it? Why did we have a planner do it rather than the board here?
Because that was the Planning Commission's directive to Doug Luan, and you know, you got to understand that as the township manager, you know, the Planning Commission board is a board that can direct, and is appropriately can direct staff to do something, and they directed Doug Luan to put that together. And Doug Luan's office did that, and that's the way it went. I don't recall if they asked me to be involved in it or not, but I really was not involved in much of the details of it at all.
I don't mean to insinuate that you were.
Oh, no, I'm not. I know you're not asking. I'm saying that for the benefit of the audience, so people know.
I just wondered why Doug Luan would do it and not us.
What's that?
I just wondered why he would do it and not us. The board makes the final decision. And another thing was, we had a $10,000 deal with them, and then this board elected to go to $18,000 or something. We had 2 different bids from these people, didn't we?
So what happened was, so they initially submitted a bid, I think, of slightly over $10,000, $10,335. And then there was discussion at the Planning Commission meeting. And after the discussion at the Planning Commission meeting, I said that, or indicated that I think really the next step would be to meet with the company and talk with them and essentially go through a little interview. And myself, Janet, Marlene, and Doug, and the individuals from the company were there present. And at that meeting, it was talked about that it would be of greater benefit to not only the board but to everyone involved to survey everybody that we could possibly survey, sort of the whole township list. And so they indicated that they could do that, but they would get back to us with what that increased cost was. And so that increased cost was the $16,832. Now, you know,
so it was a $6,000 benefit for them and everybody else. So.
That's correct, Mr.
Okay.
Duncan.
All right, thanks.
I just wanted the difference in between the lower fee and the 16,000 fee actually had to do with the number of people that were going to be contacted to participate in the survey. The more people participating, or the more people they contacted, of course, was going to cost more, but you also get more accurate results with a larger responding numbers.
Well, some of the people out here that made some comments tonight didn't think so, but
Well, yeah, and that's correct. And that if you think about this statistically, you know, you can survey, let's say you survey 500 people for a particular question, and or multiple questions with multiple fields and multiple variables. You may get a general answer, and that answer may be statistically representative of the population, even though you're only surveying 500 people. I believe, if I recall correctly from statistics class, that's measured as a p-value, or t-value. Is it t-value? Yeah, I think it's the t-value, anyway. But it still is statistically significant. The problem is that when you drill down into the various fields, so when you say, well, what is the answer to whatever the question is, or what is the majority answer to X question of X demographic? And so if you only send it out to 500 responses and you drill down into those specific demographic areas and specific questions, you may only get a sample size of 5 or a sample size of 10, whereas your original sample size of 500 is not as relevant. And so, and this is what the company said, is that the benefit of expanding the survey is not that the overall number or the overall answer is going to change, but you're going to be able to get more statistically accurate information in those drill down variables and fields when we split things up.
my biggest problem is it's a no-bid contract. I understand all the other stuff, but the fact that it's a no-bid contract, I just can't support it. Thank you.
Well, the board can decide to put it out for bid.
All right, we currently have the yeah, go ahead, Kathy.
When, was it Mr. St. Amour was here, Cobalt was here, when they were here, they talked about the questions, and that there would be, and maybe I'm asking this too soon, but we're going to get a chance to see the questions and approve them, right? Because someone had mentioned, you know, you asked the right question, you get a certain answer, so.
Yeah, I mean, the Board of Trustees.
I don't see any of that in here, but.
The Board of Trustees is yes, and the short answer is yes. If that's what you want, yes. The Board of Trustees is the legislative body of the township, and however you approve the contract is exactly what's going to happen.
Because I am a little worried about their statement. You know, I looked at their website, and they only have 3 bullets, and one of them says overcoming community objection. So I don't know what that, you know. I just don't want the questions to be slanted in one way or the other.
Well, I will tell you,
completely
one of the things-
neutral, and I agree. I want to know what people think.
One of the things that
I honestly want to know.
I almost vividly remember saying in the meeting is no one wants any of the questions biased in any way, shape, or form. You know, I think if I recall, Janet, correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't always have the best memory, but if I recall, when we were in that meeting, we almost all unanimously agreed that the first take of the questions should come from them.
Right.
So that, because none of us want any of this to be biased in any way, shape, or form. Because at that point, you know, the results don't seem meaningful if that's what people feel.
Yeah, they want to get input from everybody that wants to let them know the kind of questions, but they are going to word them so that they're not slanted in any particular way. I mean, that's what they do. That's their business. So we don't want a bias. We really, truly, I truly believe every person here, everybody on the planning commission really wants to know what this community wants, and this was one way to find out. It was the residents that were actually asking for a survey, so we're trying to give it to them.
One last thing. Howard, what was I going to ask? Sorry, I lost my chain of thought.
right, go ahead, Tracy.
Yeah, Janet. Hi.
Yes?
Is this what the planning commission wants?
Yes.
Okay. And as part of the process, the planning commission has asked the board to approve this survey request. I'm inclined to go ahead and honor that request because it's something the planning commission has thought about and it's something that the planning commission wants. I am, in a perfect world, I agree that this should have been bid out, although I think that the number is, the contract number is probably in line with the contract numbers, and I certainly support Kathy's suggestion that we're going to see the questions in advance, and we're going to be able to vet the questions prior to the survey ever going out. So with that being said, I'm inclined to honor the planning commission's request.
I just came back to me. The vote, is all voters going to get something or no? How does, okay.
The current plan is all registered voters.
Okay, so-
Which is apparently almost, it's in the 90% tile of individuals in the township, because not everybody votes, but almost
No.
everybody registers to vote.
Oh, I see, so the registered voters,
It's the
okay.
registration voting list.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right, any further discussion? Okay.
Roll call vote.
Yeah, oh, you want a roll call? Okay. Janet?
Yes?
Bud? Yes. Dockett?
No.
Ingstrom, yes. Westover?
Yes.
Otto?
Yes.
Thomas?
Yes?
All right, thank you.